The Australian outback is home to some of the largest cattle ranches. These stations can be extremely isolated, like Supplejack Downs in the Northern Territory. At 1,544 square miles, it's a 13-hour drive from the nearest main town. As a result, regular monitoring and grazing is challenging. However, innovative solutions like robots and helicopters are improving this. Beef cattle is a huge profitable industry in Australia, earning about $23 billion annually. According to the latest 2024 report, Australia's cattle herd ranges from 25.7 to 28.6 million head, with Queensland farms accounting for 44% of the country's total. Gathering such large herds for tagging and branding can be tough using traditional field methods. Helicopters offer a solution, providing panoramic views and maneuverability. Before takeoff, pilots and ground crew assess the terrain for effective mustering. The chopper scans the vast landscape for signs of cattle. Pilots maintain radio contact with ground crew to guide stray animals effectively. Using noise and air currents, choppers gently guide the herd to the meeting point. A 400,000-acre ranch requires 5 to 6 helicopters for mustering. This must be done without stressing or agitating the cattle. Ground crew on horses or bikes guide the herd and block escape routes. Once the herd's safely gathered, the chopper lands and the ground team gets to work. Aussie cattle farms use various automated feed systems, each tailored to the farm's specific needs. On big farms, feed trucks follow set routes on schedule, pushing feed mix closer to the cattle feeders. Farmers can even control auto feeders to mix rations using their phones. This ensures a steady supply of fresh feed, satisfying thousands of cattle. Yearly, Aussie livestock farms use a whopping 13 million tons of feed. With beef production up 11.3% to 156 KLBs in 2023, efficient feed distribution is crucial. In smaller operations, automated feeding systems are commonly used. Farmers fill the large hopper with feed. When feeding time comes, the machine automatically dispenses just enough feed for the cattle. The cattle are gathering here because it's almost time for the feeder's regular schedule. This system works well with goats too. These systems use electronic ID tags to identify individual cattle and provide custom feed based on their specific nutritional needs. After feeding, it's time to remove manure to maintain the cattle's health and living conditions. But traditional methods can't handle 200 million pounds of yearly manure from 80,000 cattle in large feedlots like Mort and Grassdale. That's why scraper systems are used here. They consist of a long scraper blade on a chain running the pen's length. The scraper activates every 15-30 minutes, pushing manure to a collection pit. In 2023, Australia turned farm waste into valuable organic fertilizers. Collected manure goes to a separator or fertilizer production facility. Sheep and goats produce drier droppings, posing less removal challenge. In open grazing, their droppings naturally fertilize vast pastures. Australia has the world's third largest sheep population, about 74.7 million, and is the top goat exporter. Some farmers introduced dung beetles to pastures, speeding up decomposition and nutrient cycling, boosting soil health. Scientists are developing robotic beetles for this crucial task. Besides meat, Australia's dairy industry is vital in rural areas. It's mainly along the southeast coast in Victoria, New South Wales and Tasmania, employing 33,500 people. Robotic milking systems have transformed dairy farming, offering many advantages over traditional methods. These systems can be broadly categorized into two types: multi-box systems and automatic rotary milking systems, or HAMS for short. Many goat farms have also adopted these milking systems to boost milk production and hygiene. As cattle approach the milking station, they're drawn to the feed available in front of them. Each cow has an electronic ID tag, usually a collar or anklet, allowing the system to access data on milking history, health, and production. Once in the stall, the cattle are securely held by automated gates. The milking process starts with a laser-guided system that precisely locates the cow's teats. Teats are then automatically disinfected and dried to ensure hygienic milk collection. Teat cups are attached automatically, gently sucking milk while cows eat their feed. The system closely monitors milk flow from each teat, adjusting suction to optimize production. The whole milking process usually takes 5 to 10 minutes per cow. Australia produces about 8.8 billion liters of milk yearly, with exports worth $3.3 billion in 2022 to 2023. After milking, the cups detach automatically and gates open, letting cows exit easily. The milk then goes to processing plants to become various products like cheese and butter. Since 2017, Australia requires electronic ID tags for sheep and goats, improving herd management. This has been done for cattle since 2004 in a system called National Cattle Identification. This is the most common technology. It's called radio frequency identification because as the reader gets close to the tagged animal, usually within inches, the radio signal displays the animal's info on screen. The reader can be a device like this one. It scans the tags on the sheep's ear and updates its data. Each sheep's records are stored in farm management software, easing breeding and health monitoring. New South Wales leads in goat farming, with herd size growing from 2.4 to 6.8 million from 2018 to 2021. This growth led to increased goat meat production exceeding 11,000 tons in 2022. To support the booming goat meat industry, Australian farmers are adopting automated feeding systems. Over 90% of Australian goat meat is exported mainly to China. Seeing the benefits, 67% of goat and sheep farms now use automated feeding systems. Australian goat and sheep farms often face disruptions from predators. Over 40% of sheep and goat deaths are due to attacks by foxes, wild dogs, birds, and feral pigs. To combat this, licensed Australian pilots and shooters conduct aerial culling. Farmers also use traditional methods like hunting and trapping. Recently, they're increasingly turning to drones for herd management. These have built-in cameras, letting farmers monitor their herds from afar. Some farmers use drones to gather sheep, goats, and cattle. This tool helps farmers spot predator hotspots and set traps strategically, maximizing hunting effectiveness to protect their livestock. Some drones can emit sounds, flash LED lights, and spray water to keep predators away from the herd. Hey everyone! Today we're visiting U.S. sheep farms to see how millions of sheep are raised here. As of 2021, the U.S. has 101,387 sheep farms with over 5 million head. Currently, up to 80% of U.S. sheep are raised on large-scale farms. Most large-scale sheep farms are concentrated in states like Texas, California, and Colorado. Unlike in China, Australia, or New Zealand, most U.S. sheep are raised for meat, with only 17% of sheep raised for wool. Each year, about 1.7 million sheep are born, with up to 37% in Texas and California. On average, each ewe gives birth to 2 or 3 lambs. Newborn lambs typically weigh 1.5 to 2 kilograms and stay with their mothers for 9 weeks before weaning. These lambs with health issues will be separated by farmers for medical monitoring. This California sheep farm has over 700 sheep. About 1,500 lambs are born on this farm annually. These lambs will stay here for 2 months before moving to graze on other farmland. Currently, California has about 9,300 sheep farms with roughly 557,000 head, representing 10% of the country's sheep population. The 2021 census shows California slaughtered 222,800 sheep and produced 13.6 million pounds of lamb. These workers are docking the sheep's tails. Sheep tail docking usually occurs at 2 weeks of age. Tail docking is crucial on farms to prevent flies and parasites from attacking the sheep's rear. It also improves efficiency in the breeding process. Some small-scale farmers consider tail docking unnecessary. These 2-month-old sheep in Idaho just had their tails docked. Idaho has 4,000 sheep farms with 248,000 sheep, 4.8% of the country's sheep population. This is a sheep farm in Colorado. This breed is called Suffolk. All sheep on this farm are raised for meat production. Every year, about 1,300 sheep are born here. As of 2020, Colorado has 6,100 sheep farms with 368,000 head, 7.8% of the U.S. sheep population. Lambs reach sexual maturity at 8 months, weighing 83 pounds. The farm feeds sheep mainly corn and hay, with grain for breeding ewes. On average, each sheep eats 3% of its body weight daily. This is the process of removing hair from adult sheep's anal area. Despite tail docking, thick anal fur still attracts parasites and flies. This Texas sheep flock is being led to pastures to graze freely. Texas now leads the U.S. in sheep population with about 747,000 head, making up 14% of the country's total. Like cattle in Texas, sheep here are regularly moved between pastures for grazing. Yearly, Texas slaughters around 306,000 sheep and produces about 19 million pounds of lamb. Sheepdogs help Texas farmers protect thousands of sheep from coyote attacks. This is how sheep are bathed. Adult sheep get bathed every 2 weeks. This protects them from lice and parasites.
This is the sheep's final journey. At 8-10 months old, thousands of sheep are sent to meat processing plants. Here, sheep are stunned with electricity before slaughter begins. Yearly, 2.3 million sheep are slaughtered in the US, producing about 137 million pounds of meat. On average, Americans eat 5 pounds of lamb per year. Besides domestic production, the US imports most lamb from Australia and New Zealand.